What punishment do you think would have suited what you did then?
Death. I wanted the death penalty.
You wanted the death penalty. But Julie...
And they dropped it.
But you said to me that you don't regret what you did, and you don't think you did anything wrong.
I didn't say I didn't regret it. You asked me if I would do it again.
I'm sorry. I asked if you would do it again, and you said you would do it again, and you don't feel what you did was wrong.
I didn't say that either. I didn't say I didn't think it was wrong.
Okay, then tell me.
Did I? Did I say? Please roll the tape back.
Do you, well...
Did I say what I did wasn't wrong?
Well, do you, and maybe let me ask you again, do you think maybe I didn't even ask you that. Do you think what you did was wrong? Because I'm trying to understand why you want to be punished, but why you don't, why if you had the chance, here's what I'm trying to understand. Because I did ask you if you would do it again, right? And you said you would do it again, but you feel like you need to be punished. So doesn't that mean that you realize what you did was wrong? And then why would you do it again if you knew it was wrong? That's what I'm trying to understand.
If I knew it was wrong, I wouldn't do it again. If I knew I would be punished, that wouldn't bother me. I'm used to being punished. I don't care if I get punished. Punishment doesn't bother me. I've been punished all my life. But I can handle punishment.
But you wanted to be
punishment.
You wanted to die, though. You wanted to be sentenced.
Right. But they quit on me. My attorney quit.
But if you had a chance to do it over, would you do the same thing? Would you kill your kids?
I would save them and protect them. I don't know if there's another way to protect them, but that's the only thing I can think of doing, to protect them.
Do you remember?
I can't think of another way. I can't think of another way to save them. And now they're in heaven, so they're saved. And that's the only thing I can think that would be good for them. Because now they don't have to live the life I lived.
What kind of life did you live? Is it because you struggle with bipolar disorder and struggle with mental illness?
When I was 6 years old, I testified in court against a neighbor man who molested me. And he was found guilty. That's the first time I was sexually assaulted at 6 years old. And I was raped at 17. I wasn't even sexually active. So I was raped as a virgin, and my whole life has been a mess in that way.
Because of that, right?
Those are only 2 incidents. I tell you, that's how my life started. And my parents were very protective of us. And I was still abused. And so I don't know. I don't know about how a person's supposed to survive. How do you survive all that?
Can you look at me for a minute? Because the explanation you gave to police when you first confessed was that Calyx was mouthing off at you. And that's why you shot her.
I will tell you that two things. I don't recall the day that I was arrested. That was Saturday. I mean, Friday, the 28th. I don't recall the interrogation, even though they let me read it a couple years later. I don't recall.
So you don't even remember saying that?
Absolutely not. When I read everything that I said to the detectives, and I asked all kinds of questions about what happened to me that day, how I was in process at the jail, how I was in process at the police department. It wasn't until during my trial I was shown photographs of me the day I was arrested, 3.5 years later. My pictures are taken like this. They said she was perfectly fine to be interrogated, even though she couldn't stand for her photo. So I'm sitting like this. That's how my photo was taken in the jail. And the detective said she was fine to be interrogated. But the photographer said she could not stand for a photo. I don't remember that day. I don't remember being in that cell. I don't remember being strip searched. I don't remember my clothes being taken. I don't remember them talking to me. I don't remember answering or them asking those questions. I don't remember being transported. I don't remember that tape that is shown of me walking, you know, the perp walk or whatever. I don't remember. Apparently I was taken to the hospital, Tampa General. I apparently received blood transfusions. I don't know any of that. I still haven't seen the records of what all was in my blood and the transfusion I received. Don't remember. All that. But now I know it's a fact because I saw Discovery. And a lot of this around the time I only know because I saw Discovery.
What did you think of your walk when you are in that white, and I mean it's the walk that's been seen all over the world,
the Chem suit or whatever.
And your reaction? What do you think of that walk? What do you think of it?
Well, I didn't get to see it, except I just leaned forward and turned around. They didn't show me a lot of my stuff. I don't know why they didn't show me my stuff. I thought I was required to see everything before I went to trial. I thought they were supposed to show me everything that was going to be used in the trial before I went to trial. So I'm sneaking a peek up at the screen to see what everybody's looking at, because I'd never seen it.
And what was your reaction when you saw it? Were you thinking, that's not me, or that is me? What were you thinking when you saw that walk?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess I have never, I've never been in that state of mind or that physical state or that. I've never been arrested. I've never been through this in my life, so I probably was as shocked looking at it as what I was in it.
And you just don't remember that day?
Absolutely not.
Julie?
Absolutely not.
But let me ask you.
And if I had remembered or been aware that day, I would not have been interrogated. I would not have answered those questions. And let me go back to the part where you asked me, you told them your daughter was mouthy, right?
Right.
And that makes a lot of people angry, that I said my daughter was mouthy. But I think all kids are mouthy. Your kids are mouthy? Your kids are mouthy? Your kids are mouthy? I didn't kill them because they were mouthy. But everybody's so shocked that my kids were mouthy. Because they were perfect kids. Everybody said they were. And they were almost perfect. But they were mouthy. Yeah, they were mouthy.
But that's not why you killed them. That's what you're saying.
No, absolutely. But I don't know why I said that. I don't know why. And I must have said that because the news said I said that, right? It was in the paper, so it has to be true. I don't remember saying that. But I think they were. They were. They were kids. They were teenagers.
But you're
They're
saying
just like every other kid. And if you say your kids weren't mouthy, then, well, let me meet your kids. Because none of us weren't mouthy as children, and I believe that none of our children have not ever been mouthy. So the fact that I said that, I don't know. Yeah, they're mouthy, but I don't think that that was a motive. That was absolutely not a motive to shoot my kids. They're mouthy? Boom? No, absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
it was to save them.
Absolutely. And I told them that over and over again.
When you were...
And that's what happened. That's the result.
So when you woke up that
How
morning...
could you not realize that?
When you woke up that morning, did you know that you were going to shoot your kids?
No.
When did you decide to shoot your kids?
I think right when it happened.
Is when you decided.
I was only going to kill me. The whole plan was to kill me. I was just going to kill me. And if they would have had me, let me buy the gun on Saturday, take the gun home, it would have been over on Saturday. But I had to wait and wait. So I had to wait for the gun until Thursday.
And then...
Because Saturday I woke up, I said, I was so depressed for a year before that. And I woke up Saturday and all of a sudden I said, I have a clear idea for the first time in a year. I want to kill myself. That's the first clear thought I had in a year.
But then at the last minute, that day...
What day? Thursday?
The day that Calyx and Beau died.
They never died. I saw them. They went straight to heaven.
Here now with Serena Fazan, we're going to talk a little bit about how this interview came to happen and why you sought this out so aggressively and over so much time. But let's just take that last point, Serena. She saw them go to heaven. Did that sort of confirm in your mind that she's not all there, she's not attached to reality?
It really did, Brendan. You know, I walked into that interview and honestly, like so many other people, I truly hated her because she killed her kids. But when I walked in and after sitting down with her, and especially after hearing that she saw their bodies go to heaven, something happened. You know, that was just, it did not seem that she was all there.
Right. Now, you could argue that it's self-serving for her in some way. However, she's sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole.
Right.
She resisted your efforts to interview her for 4 years
Yes.
and finally acquiesced. Why do you think she did?
In every letter that I wrote to her, beginning 2 days after her arrest, I pleaded in the letters, is there a message that perhaps we could prevent this unthinkable crime from happening ever again? Maybe she had some time to think about it. You know, she told me that she's on 3 drugs right now. And even though she is behind bars in prison, her mind is more clear than it has been in years. And she claims she, does not want this to ever happen again.
Before we go back to the interview, let me just ask you one more question that a lot of viewers might be wondering. Why didn't she, to put it bluntly, send herself to heaven along with her children?
I asked her that question so many times. She said her initial plan was, when she bought the gun, she wanted to come home, the kids were at school, and she planned to kill herself. But they would not give her the gun because of certain laws. So I asked her then, why didn't you kill herself? Why didn't you kill yourself that night? And every time I asked that question, and I asked it with quite a bit in private, when the cameras were rolling, she would just put her head down and not answer it.
Amazing. Well, let's get back to the Julie Schenecker interview.